Hi, I'm Clay Wesner from the Power Apps team, and in this session, I'll take you through the latest updates for Power Apps announced at Ignite, giving you a quick overview of how we're making developers more productive than ever. Before we jump into what's new, let's do a quick refresher on Power Apps. Power Apps is the world's most complete low-code platform. It allows developers to build apps, from simple no-code apps through to sophisticated mission-critical apps at enterprise scale. Power Apps is integrated with Office and Microsoft Teams, allowing citizen developers to quickly and easily build apps over their existing productivity data, build apps over our enterprise-scale data platform, Dataverse, as well as connecting to over 475 data connectors to bring together data from multiple sources into a single app. Power Apps also enables Fusion teams by fully supporting pro developers to introduce code into apps and logic, working side by side with citizen developers to build apps and solutions. Our makers are supported with intelligent experiences, GPT-3 to write code from natural language, as well as powerful AI support for data enrichment, prediction, object detection, and sentiment analysis, to enable makers to build intelligent and powerful apps in a low-code environment. Underpinning all of these rich app-building capabilities are enterprise-scale governance and ALM capabilities, allowing organizations to deploy and manage Power Apps at scale. Now let's take a look at what's been announced for Power Apps at Ignite. We've been focused on 4 key areas: providing modern apps with unparalleled productivity. Users get a modern experience and can collaborate with other users in apps and within Microsoft Teams. Power Apps turning experts into innovators across the entire organization. We're continuing to evolve our maker experiences, enabling Fusion teams and supporting makers with intelligence to ensure everyone can be productive. Power Apps allowing organizations to transform at scale, but safely. Continuing to expand our governance and administration capabilities, allowing organizations to manage Power Apps at scale. And lastly, delivering flagship applications faster than ever. We'll take a look at some of the new capabilities to enable organizations to roll out key applications on brand and quickly to the entire organization. Let's start by jumping in and taking a look at some of the updates to make users more productive. We believe our users will be more productive with a modern, familiar, and collaborative experience. We continue to focus on experiences which are familiar and allow users to collaborate with their team members and with other apps. To make sure users can find their data when they need it, users can now find data as part of their Microsoft 365 search results. In the same way a user can search across their Office data, we'll now include results from Dataverse. Admins will be able to enable Microsoft Search integration for their Dataverse environments to control when results are included. This gives users a much easier way to discover their data and apps where they're already working. When the users are in the apps, we want to make sure that they've got access to the data and insights at their fingertips. We're super excited to announce the general availability of embedded insights with Power BI. Makers can now embed rich Power BI dashboards directly in their apps, allowing users to interact with their app data and external data connected to dashboards. This brings the awesome capabilities of Power BI directly integrated into Power Apps. Once I'm in my app and working, one of the most valuable resources I have is my teammates. In an upcoming release, we'll be enabling teams to collaborate directly in the app. Users will be able to see who else is working on a particular Dataverse record with co-presence, similar to how I would in a Word document. I can launch directly into an embedded Teams chat linked to the record. The conversation can take place right there in the app. I don't need to switch context or lose my place. But sometimes, the conversation is already happening in Microsoft Teams, and I might need to paste a link to an ongoing chat. With link unfurling, when pasting Power Apps links into Teams chats, you'll automatically get a rich, useful summary card of information. This again allows users to be more productive and continue the conversation in context rather than switching between apps. users of Power Apps can be more productive as a team with modern and collaborative experiences out of the box. Now let's take a look at what's here for our makers. We want to turn experts of all kinds into innovators with sophisticated and intelligent authoring experiences. We want every maker to be as productive as possible in Power Apps, citizen developers through to pro developers, and even more so when they come together on the same team. Let's start with one of my favorites, programming by example. We recently released Power Apps Ideas, which allows you to write code with natural language. You could write a sentence like filter customers that haven't been reviewed in the last 30 days, and using GPT-3, one of the world's most advanced natural language models, we generate the power effects required to connect to and filter the data. Now we've made it even easier with programming by example, backed by the Prose AI model. Now you can simply provide examples of what you'd like your data to look like, and Power Apps will generate the power effects for you. This greatly simplifies the experience for new makers, removing the need for them to learn or research specific functions in the language, but also allows the more experienced makers to be more productive, reducing time spent writing repetitive code. We aren't just using AI to make our makers more productive, but continuing to enable AI for our makers through Lobe and AI Builder. Lobe enables you to train an AI model in the desktop application and then upload the model to the cloud. You can now upload your Lobe models to be consumed in the Power Platform, giving you the ease of a simple desktop application for classification while keeping the full power of the Power Platform to build your solution. Outside of the tools available to makers with Lobe and AI Builder, we now allow you to bring your own AI models to be used within Power Apps. This gives makers huge flexibility in leveraging AI in apps and solutions. Now you can build AI models in any language or framework, host them on any cloud you like, and then register them with AI Builder. Once registered, you can consume them like any other model in the platform, giving makers amazing flexibility to work with AI across the platform. Now that we've seen how AI can help makers build apps, let's talk about some of the updates to make it easier for all makers building apps over Dataverse. These updates make Dataverse the easiest and most powerful data source for developers to work with while building apps. The Modern Solution Explorer provides a simple and modern experience for makers building apps and solutions over Dataverse, allowing makers to create solutions, work with tables, and components of Dataverse in a modern, productive, and accessible UI. As well as the new Solution Explorer, we've also released the new Commanding Designer, allowing makers to create and edit commands in apps using low code. In the past, this was done through XML or JavaScript. Now commands can be updated using drag and drop or Power Effects in a new modern designer. This gives makers a simple and easy way to customize commands while reusing Power Effects skills to build logic. Now that we've got an AI-infused experience built over Dataverse, let's talk about how we go even faster with collaboration. Now I'm able to collaborate with others while building apps, leveraging the skills of my team and those around me to build the best possible app. We are super excited that makers can now work together in the modern app designer to use comments to collaborate together, mentioning and engaging each other in the app building process to truly collaborate just like I would in Office. Now I can bring the conversation about the app building process or requests for help directly into the app. Commenting is also going to be available across the Power Platform in Power Automate and Power Virtual Agents. But collaboration isn't just limited to commenting. With the experimental release of Git integration of source code for apps. While this is a new and early stage feature, we can now integrate our YAML source code directly into Git. This allows multiple developers to work on different branches of the same app at the same time and have their changes merged together. This is a huge step forward for Fusion teams working with multiple developers and Git already, and we really look forward to seeing how this can help accelerate development. In addition to enabling multiple developers to work together on a single app, we are now able to integrate the YAML source code version of the app into Git, giving developers a human-readable version of the app with full version history. Enabling Fusion teams and collaborative development is a critical area for Power Apps, and Git integration is just one step forward in this direction. And that's just one way we're enabling developers. Earlier this year, we announced the expansion of PowerFX, the logic language for Power Platform. PowerFX has been our expression language in Power Apps from the start, and this year we've expanded PowerFX into key areas such as Dataverse with formula columns and model-driven development with the commanding designer. We also announced plans to continue expansion into other areas of the Power Platform to provide makers a consistent logic language enabling reuse and lowering the learning curve. In this update, we've made major updates to the open source release of PowerFX to enable developers to consume PowerFX in any application, leveraging the power of low code. Developers will be able to download the PowerFX packages from GitHub to leverage PowerFX in their own applications. This allows developers to consume PowerFX in their own apps, enriching it and their users with low code. Now let's take a look at how we're ensuring organizations can roll out PowerFX org-wide safely. The primary focus of our team is how we can ensure Power Apps can safely scale to support enterprise organizations through governance, controls, and visibility. We're continuing to introduce the right features to give admins the right controls over apps and data. Conditional access policies allow admins to control access and authentication to individual apps. Admins can now apply policies to block guest access or require multi-factor authentication for a specific app. This gives admins granular control over apps and how users are accessing them. Admins can now go even further and quarantine apps. In addition to the existing security and DLP controls, which help admins manage the access to apps and the data within them, admins can now quarantine a specific app that doesn't meet an organization's policy. Makers can still access the app to correct or update it, but users won't be able to. This gives admins a huge amount of control in what and how their users access organizations' data and apps. With all these tools and capabilities, we've also introduced guidance to roll them out with the Power Platform Adoption Guidance. This set of documentation, tools, and apps give you adoption best practices for the Power Platform across the organization. It will walk you through how to define your strategy and vision with the right focus on governance to implement guardrails, and also include guidance to nurture and support the maker community within your organization. The Power Platform Adoption Guidance works hand in hand with the Center of Excellence Starter Toolkit available for the Power Platform, giving you the tools to manage your users, apps, and processes directly on the platform. Now that we've looked at the updates for the user experience, the maker experience, and our ability to govern apps, let's look at how we're making it easier to deliver apps faster than ever. The need to deliver critical branded apps to the entire organization quickly is key to supporting digital transformation. First, let's take a look at a new way to manage billing for Power Apps through Azure. With pay-as-you-go, you can now bill your Power Apps usage through your Azure subscription, making it easier to know what you are consuming and pay for Power Apps. We are introducing a new set of Azure meters, which track Power Platform usage in a few different ways. The Power Apps per app meter will enable you to pay based on the number of unique users that actually use your apps in a given month. The Dataverse meter, which will let you pay for the Dataverse storage consumed by your apps. And the Power Platform request meter, which will let you pay for any overages above your users and flows daily entitled limits. Pay-as-you-go can be very helpful when you're getting started with premium capabilities and organizations who are unsure of how many licenses they'll use, giving them the option to pay for what they use directly to their Azure subscription. One of the other big advantages with this model is how quickly developers already working with Azure can get started, leveraging existing Azure subscriptions, enabling development teams to quickly get started building solutions. After building an app, a critical step is how you can get it into the hands of your users. Today, users open apps through the Power Apps player, but moving forward, makers will be able to deliver standalone apps to users. Standalone apps can be distributed through MDM tools or published through private app stores. This will mean users can go to the Apple or Google app stores and install the app directly to their phone. This has been a top ask for Power Apps to provide a branded and end-to-end experience for Power Apps users. This will truly allow makers and admins to control how users experience their apps. Once installed, it will launch in a completely branded experience, allowing organizations to deploy critical flagship applications directly to their users while managing the experience. In the last 20 minutes, we've taken a super quick overview over the recent announcements of Power Apps at Ignite. To make our end users more productive, enable every maker, transform the entire organization safely, and deliver flagship applications quickly. Power Apps is the most complete low-code application platform, and we couldn't be more excited to share these updates with you. You can get started with the Power Platform at aka.ms/startwithpower. Thank you.